What's up, Bulldogs? All right, today I'm going to tell you what I learned from being rejected over 100 times. All right, back in the day when I used to go out, actually more than 100 times, like probably hundreds of times. Now I'm married. I have a wonderful wife, Nicole, and we have an amazing life together, amazing relationship. But back in the day when I was going out and teaching guys to do cold approach, pick up, when I was doing it myself, I got rejected my share of times for sure. All right, and so I want to tell you what I learned from that and what you can learn from that. So the first thing that I really learned from that was that no matter how good you are, no matter how good looking you are, no matter how much game you have, no matter how confident you are going to get, quote, rejected. Okay, now I say quote rejected. You'll see why if you stick around to the end of the video, because I'm going to talk about how you're not actually rejected ever, but you get what I'm saying, right? And so I think this is important. I think this is important to understand because a lot of guys come into it and they get the idea that Chads, that they get all the women and that they never get rejected. And that's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true. And you might say, oh, John, well, you're not Chad, whatever. Go to your little black pill corner, okay? I did plenty good for myself. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't even, there's no such thing as a Chad, first of all, okay? You need to understand this, okay? However, right, without getting too sidetracked here, I did learn that no matter what, and this comes from not just my own experience, it's from coaching guys, from coaching good-looking guys, from coaching guys that are not good-looking, guys with money, guys with not money. Sometimes, yes, that was the case. Is that it doesn't matter because you don't know. You can't control the circumstances. You can do everything perfectly and still lose, right? And this was a lesson that I actually learned from poker, right? Poker is a really good book by Andy Duke called Thinking in Bets. You should definitely read that book. But poker will teach you a lot about life. It teaches you mainly that you can do the right thing and get a bad result, and you can do the wrong thing and get a good result, because some of life is skill and some is luck, and you don't always know what percentage is which. I don't know what happened to my camera there, but we just blinked out to, we're on a new timeline now, a new parallel universe in the multiverse. So apparently some things have changed. I don't know if Berenstain Bears is still Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears, but we'll see. But anyway, so what I'm saying here is that you can't control everything. So some things are going to be luck, some things are going to be skill. You're not going to know what percentage is what, but you have to have the discernment to be able to realize that when you win, it doesn't mean that it's because of skill, and when you lose, it doesn't mean it's because of luck, right? And also, sometimes I think we can be too hard on ourselves, and we think when we win, it's because of luck, and when we lose, it's because we lack the skill, or we could say, I guess we're bad. We're bad, like we have bad. We lack the skill. Is kind of the more destructive path, actually. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is that you can become better, and it is something that you can progress at. There's so many guys today that have a fixed mindset. It's so destructive to have a fixed mindset. And do you know what I mean by having a fixed mindset? So if you haven't read Carol Dweck's book called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, I highly recommend that you read that book. But a fixed mindset means that you are born with certain attributes, and they're not changeable. They're immutable. Okay, so you're smart, you're good looking, whatever it is. Those things don't change. A growth mindset means that you start with some starting stats, but you can alter those stats, right? That your intelligence is a factor of something that you started with, but it's also, and more so, a factor of what you've done, that you can grow, you can develop, right? And so in facing lots of rejection, what I learned was that I could improve. I could get to a point where I faced less rejection. Never zero. Right? That's the thing is, and I think, like I said, I think a lot of guys are confused. They're like, oh yeah, Chads, they get 80% of the girls they go after. No. If you're getting 10% or 20%, you're slaying it beyond like whatever anyone has ever slayed it. Okay, aside from a major celebrity, but even they are not going to hit 100. If they're batting 50, that's probably good, honestly. So the thing is that you will get better at things that you practice. And I learned this because I saw this in myself. I mean, going from not good at all, like there's actually a video still on my channel of one of my first approaches that I filmed, I filmed the reaction, right? And it was awkward, it was cringe, right? Like I hate that word, but it was. But to the point where I got smooth enough to jump over, a fence and sit at a table with girl and just like nothing ever happened, okay? So you can develop skill in this, and you will get better results. right? I did this video on the attraction equation. You can watch that video. And I talked about how this idea is that it is the volume of women that you interact with times the game that you have, that skill factor, right? And then the product, right? It's all of those things combined that determines your results, right? So you can improve the product, right? You can improve the volume, and you can improve the skill. And if you improve all of those things, you're going to get a multiplicative value add. You're going to increase your success. I'll give you one more. The third thing I say that I've learned from lots of rejection is that you cannot be rejected. That rejection doesn't even exist. It's an illusion. It's something that you have come up with in your own mind and created, and it's a frame that you buy into. You see, if you go up and you talk to a girl and she, quote, rejects you, that's not reality. That is the reality that you have created. That's what you've chosen to see in that situation. And this isn't about blowing smoke up your ass. It's just that, what is a rejection really when you think about it? It means that someone doesn't want you. They don't value you. They're refusing what you're offering. Is that rejection? I suppose that we could say someone refuses what we offer. Okay. So what are we offering in that case? Is it like you can offer something? Your statement, your request can be rejected. But can you be rejected? No. Unless what you're offering is yourself, unless you're putting your entire self-worth into this woman or this interaction. So it's up to you to choose whether you're going to become rejected or not. Yeah. Your words could be rejected. The statement, the request you're making could be rejected. You could go up to a girl and say, hey, I just saw you over there. And she says, I have a boyfriend. Is that a rejection of you? It can be. You can choose to say, oh, well, she doesn't like me. Oh, I'm not attractive. She must like Chad over there, or whatever it is, or she's lying. She doesn't really have a boyfriend, or geez, all the girls that I like are taken. Like you can make up something to reject yourself, or you can just say, okay, she doesn't want to engage right now with me in this dialogue. She's rejecting that advance. It's not a rejection of me. And if you think of it that way, then you can respond in however you want. She says, oh, I have a boyfriend. You can say, oh, cool. That's cool. I have a boyfriend too. Or I have a girlfriend or whatever. Or you could say, oh, cool. That's great. You know, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just going to head over back to my friends. Have a good night. Is he here? You know, whatever. I'd love to meet him. I'm just out here making friends, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can respond however you want. You can challenge it. You can be playful about it. You can just bow out, right? But you don't have to get butthurt about it and let it phase you. So it's up to you. You choose. You choose to be rejected or not someone else. See you tomorrow.